All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Again, you're listening to Whissel Wednesday. The co-host, Jason Hall with Team Home Loans, and my good buddy, Kyle Whissel with Whissel Realty. A couple dings on there for you, Kyle. We were just talking about the GOP, what that might do. Donald Trump, since he got elected, the stock market's up 30%. Did you know that it has been years since we've had a stock correction? This thing has kept going up and up and up. And since I'm the oldest person probably in the room, I'm guessing, pretty safe to say, right, Kyle?
Yeah, no guessing there. This is a clear, you're a clear winner there, Jason.
All right. Talk about that. The one thing I know, stock doesn't go up forever. Okay, there is going to be a correction. We don't know when, but there's going to be a correction. But here's something I heard this morning. The numbers that we are seeing, the bulls and the bears, are exactly what we were in 1987. Now, in October of 87, 30 years ago, a little over 30 years ago, we had one of the biggest stock crashes we've ever had. And we're starting to see similar signs to that. Doesn't mean that's going to happen, but I'd be protected. I'd be prepared. The things that we're talking about in this tax reform, the things that are going on in the world, the fact that we've been like on a 10-year bull run on the stock market, something's going to change in the stocks. And so I'd be ready for it. So that's when I wanted to get out there. And before we go to our next guest, who, you know what? I don't know how to go from junk talking about stock, but we were talking about stock sometimes can be considered junk. But if you need to move junk and not move stock, right? Kyle's just laughing.
Amazing job, Jason.
I'm trying.
So smooth.
I'm trying.
It's like smooth like butter, baby.
Introduce our guest here.
So, speaking of stocks where there's junk stocks out there, which many people might own right now, we've got Steven here with Steven's Hauling, taking care of all of the junk in your house. So, people are listening to the show. Actually, I'm going to tell a story because I'm purchasing some properties right now, and I'm going to end up needing your services. I drove by a couple of these properties on my way in here, and I found some properties that are listed by some agents who are out of the area. Have no idea what the market values are here in San Diego,
so
which I love those agents.
So they listed
no idea what they're
lower
doing.
than you would have.
Listed lower, and in a perfect world, I'm going to hopefully pick up 3 new properties this week, and these things are rented about 50% of what they should be rented for. I mean, you're talking 1 bedrooms rented for $500 a month, which is totally insane.
Which means the current owner's probably out of the city as well.
Current owner is in Arizona and has now passed. It's in an estate.
Got it.
But they clearly have not managed these properties for many, many years.
What's a 1 bed? What are you getting on a 1 bedroom on your properties right now?
1 bedrooms right now? I mean, even in East County, they're renting for at least $1,200 a month.
Really?
Yeah. Rents are crazy right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there's some 3-bedroom.
$1,300 for 1 bedroom in East County?
There's 3-bedroom condos in my community right now renting for $2,600 a month for a 3-bedroom condo.
All right, something's going to change. We've seen rents do nothing to go up, but eventually something's got to change.
So these properties, I got the opportunity to drive by, and you can only imagine people who've been in these units, who knows how many years they've been there, but they're paying $500 a month for
$500
rent.
they've been there for 10 years.
These typically are not the cream of the crop tenants that are paying this kind of money. So I drove by today, and there's trailers and old boats and RVs and car parts and basically everything that you get rid of. So talk a little bit about some of the things people need to know when it comes to hauling away junk.
Okay, absolutely. Well, the first thing that you would want to find out from your junk hauling company is, are they insured?
And why is that important, Stephen?
Well, the biggest thing is something happens on your property, you could be held liable for it.
Right.
So if they are fully insured, then that means that whatever happens damage-wise on your property, whether it be to person or property, their insurance will cover it.
Okay, so that's great.
So that's a big deal right there.
Okay.
So, I mean, if somebody's on my property hauling all this crap away and they drop a motor on their tow, I'm taking some responsibility for that?
Possibly.
Yeah, if they don't have insurance, that's correct.
So that would be a big one.
That's a big one.
Yeah. And you never know when you're hauling junk, especially from some of these hoarder houses and stuff that we deal with. You never know what's in.
Yeah,
even you just pick up a box and there might be needles in it.
Needles.
Yeah, absolutely. I've run into all of that.
So let's talk
absolutely.
about that. What's the craziest stuff that you've actually hauled away that you can think of? And I know I kind of surprised you with this, Steve, but what's some of the things come to your mind? Because you've been hauling junk for some years now.
Yeah, a couple of years.
And you've seen some crazy stuff. So what's something that you've hauled away that you were just like, wow, when you showed up, you just couldn't imagine hauling this thing away?
Well, yes, you have your typical hoarder's house that you walk in and you're looking at 20-plus loads of just trash, just empty boxes of who knows what. You've got clothing, you've got Like you said, needles. I run across that on a somewhat regular basis, so you've got to be very careful with what you're doing. And anything from small items up to very large items. I've hauled boats away. I've hauled motorhomes, motorcycles. Those are all different items, but also just general trash. A lot of furniture, appliances, just things that people accumulate. We all accumulate stuff, and the longer you're in your home, the longer you seem to accumulate.
Yeah. And I think a lot of families went around Great Depression. So if you have a grandparent who was around during the Great Depression, raised during that.
Can you tell us about this?
It was a tough time, Kyle.
Firsthand?
Right? It was a tough time. But you think things differently, right? Because they had nothing. And see, people don't even realize it wasn't 200 years ago, right? I mean, it could happen again. And when you look at Book of Eli, right, something in the Book of Eli happened to where literally we're like in Revelation times of the Bible. And, it's a good movie if you haven't seen it, Book of Eli. But literally, things that you guys just, like wipes, handy wipes that we just throw away, don't even think about, are super valuable at the end times, right? And that's kind of the book Eli's done. And so that's why I think with the Great Depression, you have people that just think, hey, I might need this bowling ball 30 years from now. I might need this and that. How many bowling balls have you probably hauled away? There has to be a bunch.
Jason, that's a funny story. I actually had one client, his father had passed away, and I want to say that it was in between 25 and 30 bowling balls.
Wow, that's my kind of guy.
Jason, how many bowling balls do you have?
You know what? I've got quite a few.
How many bowling balls do you have, Jason?
I have a bag with 4, and I always have a couple extra. I would bet I have at least 8 bowling balls. So, yeah, I might be your friend.
Jason's that guy that shows up to the bowling alley with, like, the big cargo carrier, rocking some sweatpants.
In a headband.
Yeah,
In a
sweatpants, headband.
You know what?
Jason's that guy.
The good news is I'm probably the only one in the studio that's thrown a couple 300 games and actually won money in tournaments for throwing perfect games. So
So it's all worth it.
It's all worth it. And I was on a 5-man team a couple years ago, the last league I bowled in. I averaged 218, and I was the 3rd highest average on my team at 218. We had a guy at 227 and a guy at 221. It was absolutely insane. These guys throw strikes every single time. The average 227, I mean, every other time's a 200 average. So 227, it was just insane. But that's enough of bowling balls. Let's get back to hauling junk.
So some of the bigger clients that I deal with are property management companies as well as estate sale representatives. Nowadays, people don't want their parents' junk. What was old is no longer new. And so that's why I end up with a lot of estate sales that I haul away so much stuff that people just don't want. Now, the nice thing about it is a lot of the stuff is very reusable. So I'm able to take that and I'm able to donate it.
So where to? Like what are you talking about?
Well, I will take anything that's donatable and donate it to either AmVets or Goodwill. Really any place that's going to repurpose it and have it as a benefit for someone else.
Now, let me ask you, since we were talking about tax reform earlier, and your lovely wife Chantel is here in the studio, are you taking these donations as any tax write-offs now that you kind of currently own it? Do you guys think about that? I mean, those are things I think about.
Jason, that's a great question.
Especially if you don't get to write off these additional things coming in the future, possibly.
Right. No, anytime I donate anything, I do get the tax deduction receipt, and
Nice.
I do offer that to the client. If they don't want it, then absolutely I will take the deduction.
Yeah, because that's you actually.
Somebody better claim it.
Yeah. Well, that's nice. I didn't even think about that. And I know you work with the Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts, yes.
All right. Have you guys done any special things with your hauling company on that, or any fun stuff? Because I know you're really involved in the Boy Scouts.
Right. Well, my trailer gets used on a regular basis for many different service projects.
Okay. That's great that you help out the community. So nice. All right. What else can you tell us? Like, let me ask you this. If I just needed to haul one truckload, just give us all an idea. What are we talking about? To call up Steve, come out. I know I've used you a few times where I just called you literally that morning. You're like, hey, I can fit you in at 3. You rolled by, you grabbed some stuff. How much are we talking about? Just one quick truckload to give us an idea.
So if you're looking at just a basic truckload of trash, you're looking at right about $120, $150.
Okay. And sometimes you're doing multiple stops, so maybe just like a mattress, right? And so if I just need you to pick up a mattress, What are we talking about? Or a couple items?
Yeah, if I'm just picking up a mattress, then you'd be looking at in between $40 and $50.
Okay. So there's stuff out there that, that you'll take away, relatively inexpensive, get it out of the house. All right. Note to self, make sure my wife doesn't listen to the radio right now, because my wife would haul all my stuff away. Because I am that
Don't
guy
let her
from the
haul
Great
all that
Depression.
sweet Chargers gear you got, though. You're
Or
going to
the
need
bowling
that
balls.
when we go to the game,
Or the
Jason.
bowling balls at him, right? Yeah.
I love it. So, Steven's hauling. When you take this stuff, where does it go?
Okay, so if it's trash, it's going to go out to the landfill. And unfortunately, that's just where it ends up. If it's resellable, then it will either go to a thrift store, or sometimes I, in turn, will resell it myself. For the most part, I try to keep as much out of the landfill as possible. But it is important to know where your stuff goes, because if you hire the wrong junk hauler and he dumps it on some property somewhere and your information is there, the fine is going to go back to you. It's not going to go to that junk hauler.
Because you're responsible.
That's exactly right. So your name and address is on that. You're throwing old junk mail away, and you have
Especially
some
if they're
junk hauler
not
take it away.
insured. Because if they're insured, you can come back after them once they come after you.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
All right. So you can always reach us on the text line. We can give you Steve's contact information. We'll give you a second here, Steve, to think about giving out your contact. But you can contact Kyle Whissel directly, any of our guests on the show, at 619-663-7355. Again, 619-663-7355. That goes directly to Kyle. Anything you want to ask anybody that we've had on the show that you would like to get their contact information, please hit Kyle up on that. Steve, if clients want to get a hold of you, people right now saying, hey, you know what, I need to haul that stuff away, what's the best way to reach Steve?
Best way to reach Stevens Hauling is 619-249-0560.
Okay, one more time.
Yep, no problem. 619-249-0560.
All right.
And I can also be found online at stevenshauling.com.
Nice. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Hope you can
Thank
hang
you for
out.
having
We've
me.
got a couple of great guests. We're going to talk to our next guest, Adam, the real estate agent pro who just joined the Whissel team, right, Kyle?
Yep. So, we're going to head to a break, but when we get back, we're going to talk with Adam House, newest member of the Whissel Realty team. He's got a hot new listing coming up down in PB. Want to tell you about it as a listener of our show. First, stay tuned. You're listening to Whissel Wednesdays on AM 1170, The Answer.